Welcome, everybody, to your new favorite podcast, a wonderful, insightful podcast. So, I am Anastasia, joined here with the wonderful co host, Ananda.
Hello.
And so, just let us introduce ourselves. So as I said, my name is Anastasia, and I study Buddhist philosophy and Himalayan languages in in Nepal. And I'm a Buddhist practitioner for many years and a yoga practitioner for over 12 years, and a dancer, singer, and overall just trying to spread the wisdom and compassion that I came across. Yes.
Cool. Hello, I am Ananda and I'm 20 years old. I'm currently studying religion and Oriental studies at the University of Oxford with an emphasis on Tibetan language and Buddhism and Hinduism. I've been a Buddhist practitioner technically all my life, but been properly connected to it for the last maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm super interested in learning languages, learning about other cultures, and singing, drawing, reading, all those kind of things. But yeah, same as you, I also want to spread the love and the wisdom, and just spread the insight. So yeah, that's why we're here.
So basically, that's why we started the podcast. It's a kind of really enjoyable way to just talk about things, and then also for listeners to tune in and listen to what's been on our mind. And it's usually a lot of good, interesting things. Yeah, something like that. To just have fun together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So, and so we have our first topic, which is very relevant to our life, actually, and I guess for many people's lives, since it's quarantine and it's been tough just being all by yourself in your room alone, kind of face to face with your own limitations and I don't know, facing your loneliness, stuff like that. So the question for our first segment is, what do you do when you're feeling lost? So what do
Well, well, I think this is quite relevant. We were just talking actually before we started the podcast about how we both had kind of rough mornings, both feeling quite emotional. It can get quite overwhelming sometimes, especially at our age, I think, just not sort of just having moments where you kind of lose faith in everything and you're kind of just like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Like, I don't, there's so many different options and yet not feeling inclined to do any of them. So it's kind of tough. You just feel so overwhelmed and daunted by everything that you just feel paralyzed and unable to do anything.
And you just lie in bed like, ah.
Yeah, just like a potato, just like, ah. Yeah, so yeah, we were both saying how we've both had kind of those sort of mornings, so this is quite a relevant segment, I think.
Yes. So what is your answer when you think?
What do I do when I feel lost?
Yes.
Yeah. I would say a variety of things. So sometimes I like to journal, and not kind of like, kind of classic diary entry like today I did this, more like just kind of stream of consciousness journing.
Dear
so just
diary.
letting myself write. Dear diary, today I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Terrible day. Oh my God, help me.
Yeah, that would kind of be, that's kind of what it is though. Like, it's literally just me writing like, I don't know what I'm doing and I feel so overwhelmed. And when I find my purpose, that's kind of what I'm writing. But it's very cathartic to kind of just let all of those emotions on paper, I think.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that I do. Do you do that?
So basically, you're saying morning pages.
Yeah, morning pages, essentially.
I
But
literally
they can
did
be at
that
any
today
time
as
of
well.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
It's
feel
so
like no, the thing is that you're writing everything that's coming to your mind, and you're writing it by hand. It connects your body and your mind. That's the trick, probably. So your body, which is sometimes wiser than your head, paradoxically, it can tell you what to do. Like when I write, even though it's coming from my mind, it's so insightful. It's like, oh, okay, I never thought about that. That is very helpful. Thank you, Anastasia.
No, yeah, completely. You kind of connect to like a subconscious part of your mind that you weren't really aware
Yeah, kind of unloading.
of having those thoughts, and then you can read back through it and you're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I definitely do when I'm feeling lost. What else? I definitely cry a lot. But
Well,
that's just
that's
because,
stress relief.
yeah, that's cathartic.
Mm.
But I don't think everyone needs to cry. I just, whenever I'm feeling, I feel like I just don't, I let out emotions and bursts. Like I'll just feel things building up for like a few days or a few weeks, and then I'll just have to let it all out by
Mm.
crying for like 2 hours.
Oh, I
that's
see.
that's another thing. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but I feel
But not
so
everyone
bad
needs to
for,
cry.
yeah, I feel so bad for so many people, like especially men. They just push everything down very often.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad. Like it
Yeah,
destroys
and they
you
don't
from the
feel like they
inside.
can let it out, so that's really horrible actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
But
about you? What things do you do?
mm, well, I cry as well. It's so comedic, to be honest. You're lying in bed and you're like, I don't know. I was just crying today morning, just like for a couple of seconds. But I just looked at myself, kind of from the outside perspective. It was just so funny to me for some reason. Just like, oh. What happened? I can't hear you. What happened? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So, what else I do? Oh yes, there's a wonderful technique called cleaning your room.
Yes. I did that today as well. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, synchronization,
We're so
maximum
in sync.
level.
The universe wanted us to talk about this in the podcast.
Yeah. So I have 3 cats, and they were not allowed in my room before. But then now they're so persistent and so, calling for attention that they come here and they lay on my couch, and I'm like, I'm not very happy about that. But cleaning that couch today was a very wonderful experience. I mean, I actually cleaned every day, but today it felt like a spiritual experience. No, I feel like,
Yeah. I cleaned my room and I had a shower and I was just like imagining all the
oh my god, I had a
negativity.
shower as well. Right after cleaning. Oh my god.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. So in sync.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
think there's so many things you can do when you feel lost. I think it depends on like what works for you, but I normally do like a collection of different things. Like I kind of make it like a daily ritual. Like if I wake up that morning feeling really anxious and daunted by things, and I make sure to incorporate those sorts of things like journaling, tidying, having a nice shower, maybe like you could do a face mask.
yeah, it's
It
basically
does make you
all
feel nice.
yeah, I feel like it's all things that are connected with cleaning. You clean your mind, you clean your body. And then because you don't have all that rubbish just floating around, then you see clearly what's already there, like the richness
Yeah.
that's already presented. Even today,
Yeah.
I was after I wrote morning pages, I'm like, I really want to just go somewhere far away in the forest and really
Honestly,
sit.
yeah. Me too. I was just talking to my dad today and he was just saying, because basically I've been at home for like 4 months or
Mm,
something, and usually I wouldn't be at home for this length of time. And my
yeah.
dad was saying, like, if you need to leave it, and now we're allowed to leave the country again, he was saying that I'm allowed, like, he'd be happy for me to just go away somewhere. And I was like, yes, I think I actually need that
Mm. Yeah, but
because
yeah, I mean, for me,
claustrophobic.
yeah, it's kind of claustrophobic. I mean, I can't relate exactly because, well, I haven't been very obedient. I understand that there is social distancing, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't go into nature. So the whole
Mm-hmm.
quarantine, I spent like so much, like probably going every day to the forest and just hanging around and swimming
Mm.
in the rivers. So for me, it's kind of nicer, but I want to go for a longer time, and I was thinking why, and realized that first of all, I want to be connected with the reality that I'm surrounded with, and when your room is not clean, it feels like you don't even want to interact with it. You don't want to touch it. Like you know
Yeah.
that feeling. It's kind of yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so gross that you don't even want to,
You kind of just like tiptoeing.
like, you can't bear to actually change how it is. I completely get that. Yeah, through the muck.
Yeah, so for that, and I was like, no, okay, let's actually bring that into my room and reality, the connection with it.
Mm.
And then the fact that I want to be away from my responsibilities, which means that I should probably kind of relax a little bit, not take so many things upon me and just enjoy
Mm.
more. And that was the third thing.
Yeah.
Oh yes, to be connected with myself, which you can perfectly do at home as well. Like you can do practice, this, that, meditation.
Meditation. Yeah. Yoga.
Yes. So,
Also, listening to podcasts is really good when you're feeling lost. I sometimes do that as well.
hmm,
There can be some inspiration there. Um,
I guess. What do
yeah.
you listen to? Which podcast?
There's this one called How to Fail with Elizabeth Day. And
Hmm.
she basically invites different, there's sometimes like kind of sort of well-known people in England, but basically it's about normalizing failure, because success is often, like, everyone is obviously pursuing success, but failure is like seen as a really bad thing. But the whole point of the podcast is for people to list like 3 big failures in their life, but then talk about how that's kind of made them a better person and made them
Oh,
succeed.
let's discuss that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I really love that podcast because I think, especially because I go to such like a kind of well-known university. When I
Mm,
first arrived there, I always felt so pressured to be, because everyone's really smart, so I
mm,
always felt so pressured to be like the best possible and like never get bad grades, etc., etc. But it's just not, like, it's not possible to be a perfect person. So I think incorporating like the idea that failure is normal is super healthy, super healthy,
mm.
because then when you fail, like, you can use what you've learned from that failure to make you more stronger and to grow more. So yeah, that's what I think. But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do you think about it?
Well, about failure, I feel like, yeah, I mean, the success, perfection, it's kind of overrated. We don't,
Yeah.
as Dalai Lama said, we don't need more successful people. We need more peacemakers, healers, artists, people like that.
Mm, mm,
Well, also, I feel like it's really tied in with the idea, or with childhood trauma actually, that if you're not productive and successful, you will not be loved, which is, which are two completely different things.
mm,
But I mean, it's probably, No, also I feel like to get successful, it's so difficult that you just cannot hold yourself from bragging about it and brainwashing everybody around you into like, this is the greatest thing. This is, I worked so hard for it and I'm here now. Like, look at me, I'm so great.
Yeah,
You should
yeah,
be like that as well. And that's not healthy. Everything that you need is already inside. Outside is just a manifestation of what's inside of you, basically.
yeah. I completely agree, actually. I noticed recently that I have this habit of when I'm feeling lost, just sort
Mm,
of like going on social media more, or like watching YouTube videos more of people that I find inspirational.
mm,
But it's like, that isn't I don't know. Sometimes it's not necessarily productive to kind of just like watch what other people are doing, if you see what I
mm,
mean. Because I think, for example, like Willow Smith and James Smith, I find them both super inspiring because they're completely true to themselves always.
mm.
And I was thinking, like, that's how you should become successful, is just like basically by looking within yourself and like pursuing, kind of like identifying what qualities you have as an individual and like what things you're passionate about.
Yeah,
And then that's how you become successful, really successful, is just by
right.
doing what you love and being true to yourself. But by like following a false ideal of success, you're just kind of, it's just like that's someone else's success, not yours. Do you see what I mean? I don't know
Yeah,
if I
yeah, I
explained
see
that
what
very
you
well.
mean.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking about recently.
No, that's quite toxic. Mm, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. No, I mean, but I don't think you can truly reach success if it's not your passion, because
Yeah,
you will just climb on top and then, well, you just fall out of it because you realize that it's not yours and it's not what you wanted. It's like there's a line in one song. Oh my god, I don't know if I'll quote it correctly.
it's okay, just paraphrase.
Well, we came so far, but did we go the right way?
mm, mm,
So
that's really true, actually. I think people pursue something that they think is success, and then they get there, but they're not even any happier than they were before.
they might be even way more miserable. We don't know. Like,
Yeah,
and even
exactly.
even richness, people think that, oh, if you have money, you have everything. But then,
Yeah.
well, no, I mean, I guess it's common sense these days to understand that richness is not everything.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a given. But I think people still, it's very easy to fall for it with things like Instagram, because if you look at celebrities or rich people's Instagrams account, it looks like they're living the most perfect life ever. But
But there's so
it's
much
not
suffering in
true.
trying to make your life look perfect, though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
For
like you
sure.
need so much validation all the time, and you're so out of your own resource that you're
Mm.
relying on, like, your followers for validation, and all the time you're searching, okay, what to post, what else to achieve. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, well, it's probably torturous. When I get into that mindset, like, okay, what to post, I'm like, no, that doesn't feel very good.
Yeah, no, even I have that sometimes. I have that as well when I'm like, oh, I need to, because even when I look through my Instagram account, it's like all of this is such a facade, because I'm literally just posting moments where I felt pretty or moments where I'm with my friends and I'm happy. But it's like, this isn't, if someone looked at that, they'd be like, wow, she's so happy and has such a
Yeah.
perfect life. But it's just not true. No
Yep.
one's perfect or has a perfect life. So,
No, and nobody wants to share the lowest moments as well.
no.
So online it's kind of an impression that everybody else is happy but me. Like, why is
Yeah.
everyone so successful and happy? What the fuck?
What about me? Yeah, it's so, so, so true. It's so true. And I really hope that our generation can kind of I don't know, just gradually become a bit more switched on about that. I think that we are starting to like realize, because I mean, how long have you had I've had Instagram since I was 13, and
Oh my
definitely it's
goodness.
had like quite a big impact on me and my growth as an individual. And like, I don't know, especially when I was like 16, I remember just really basing my worth on Instagram likes or like attention from boys online, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of it's kind of interesting to think about like how we would have developed if we hadn't had Instagram at a young age.
So how do you think? How did it
Mm,
impact you over time?
it just made me really much more kind of, so it kind of made me, yeah, so this thing what you were saying, so thinking that everyone is happy apart from me, so like believing what I saw on Instagram was reality, also believing that people's selfies or like, I don't know, people's bodies look like that in real life all the time, and I was just like not good enough. And also, I don't know, like looking for validation in the wrong places. So I feel like I've relied on validation from men for a lot of my, like, since I was probably like 13, 14, and that started on Instagram, like online. And then I don't know, that kind of, that's why I relied on validation from men so much, because it started on Instagram. So it's kind of just like a lot of toxic patterns in my thought processes. It's like instilled in me.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's messed up. But I
Yeah. But
mean, you
yeah,
just got to
sorry,
be
Karen.
aware of it now.
Yeah. And I think our generation is starting to kind of realize that things need to, like the way we relate to social media needs to change.
No, no, yeah, for sure. It's been long enough. People are just fed up with it now. So many people are doing this digital detox
Mm-hmm.
and posting something more natural on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, or just posting less, or
Yeah.
using it for something better than just like, look, I have a pretty face today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. No, me, I have a completely different story. I was a very ascetic kid because, well, I guess because I discovered Buddhism and also Zen Buddhism and minimalism so early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my Instagram, it starts from like 2017 or 16 or something like that.
Yeah, because I remember I was actually stalking it the other day, and I realized that you only got it like just before I met you at the retreat.
Right. So, and also same with all the other social medias. My mom, she was just so into all this, like how the government is fooling people, how the social media impacts people. What are we eating? What are we consuming? This, that. So I kind of grew up in that
Mm.
environment, and I was always aware that well, I guess social media is can be harmful. So I was quite reluctant.
Uh,
I even remember there's this kind of Facebook equivalent. No, yeah, Russian Facebook equivalent, and I got it so late. I got it in like probably fifth grade, which is kind of was late for
mm.
in those times. So, and it, like, also I got it just because my best friend was like, no, let's make me an account, otherwise I wouldn't have, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. mm, no, I wouldn't say it shaped me at all, like my social media, but I'm not good at posting stuff either. You're way better at doing that.
Yeah,
So
but I don't really like what I post though. I find like when I post I'm like, this is so superficial, like, and shallow. But it's mainly I'm literally posting like, why am I posting this?
uh,
Um, but I still get validation from it. That's the thing. Like when I feel pretty, I post it. I'm like, I feel pretty, and people think I'm pretty too. Yay! Um,
oh,
but I'm trying to, like, you follow it now. Actually, I have a second Instagram account which is kind of more real, and it's just for my closest friends,
right.
and it's just kind of like, even like, I've posted photos of me crying on there and stuff. Like it's not, that's way more real. So I kind of like having that as well, because then it makes me feel more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no, it's a
I
very
was thinking
it's a
actually, I
very
have,
cute
it's because
account.
my school gave,
Hmm?
um my school gave us all iPads in year when we were 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have got social media until I was like 16 if my
Mm,
school hadn't. I just got it, like I didn't even ask my parents. I just got it and started posting. So
I
yeah,
see.
it's partly to do with my school. So that's why all my friends had it when we were really young.
Mm. No, I mean, I really feel like there are two ways to raise kids these days, probably. Either really normalize the idea that, yeah, we live in a digital world, these things exist, you can use them, and just do it and get fed up with it.
Yeah.
One way. And the other way, I was so radical about it before. I was like, no, you shouldn't give kids any digital things until they're like 13 or something.
Mm.
Because my mom, she always used to basically take my phone when I misbehaved and my computer, everything, and not give it back for like 1 week, 1 month, 2 months. It was the most wonderful, productive months of my life. I still remember those times.
Yeah. It makes such a difference, honestly. Like when we go on the retreat, like last year I didn't go on any form of social media, not even only WhatsApp, I think, for
Mm,
like 3 weeks.
mm.
And honestly, like I've never felt more liberated, apart from being
All
single,
right.
actually. That's the only time. Like I felt liberated when I was like, now I've been single for like 8 months, that's made me feel liberated, but also not going on my phone for extended time. It was so nice. It just makes me feel so much more in the present. And I think I'm going to do that again this summer at some point, just have a
Yeah, we should do
detox.
it. Even with the quarantine stuff, it's like me, I was thinking about the idea. Maybe people should gather and like just have a collective home vacation for like 1 month. No
Yeah.
phones, no work, no nothing, just, looking into yourself and doing what you love. That would be so wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Phones are a massive distraction. But yeah, I don't know how, if I have children, I don't know what my policy will be. I feel like
Mhm.
I'll be slightly stricter just because I know, especially with girls, I think. Like my brother's 15 and still doesn't have social media or anything and doesn't want to, which I admire.
Mm. What's his
Um,
reason?
huh?
What's his reason?
He's just like, I don't want to become addicted. It's stupid. I don't take any photos, so why
Oh,
would I have Instagram?
that's
That
cool.
kind of thing.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's also like, yeah, Instagram is for sure more female oriented because men are supposed to be smart and women are
Yeah,
supposed to be pretty. So,
yeah. Yeah, just reinforcing those traditional gender stereotypes, you
yep.
know? um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things change like over the next 10 years, like how people's relationship with social media changes. I hope it
Yep.
changes.
Yeah, I hope so too. Some people are saying that it's gonna get just worse and worse and worse. That now they're gonna be like VR crazy worlds, stuff like that. Like VR chat, but way more advanced.
Oh yeah. And apparently they'll put, I don't know, this is probably quite far-fetched, but like you'll have a chip in your brain and then you'll be able to like reply to text messages through your brain. I don't even know how that would work,
I
but
mean, that's what Elon Musk is doing, the Neuralink development.
no, that I hate that so much. I know
Yeah,
your mum is super anti artificial intelligence.
yeah.
I always talk to her about that
No, I
whenever I
mean,
see her.
no. She'll tell the stories herself. She
Yeah,
she's just concerned about it.
yeah, yeah.
She's not very
Um,
anti
yeah. So
AI.
am I. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, but I probably from the intuition and from the inner feeling, people realize that it's not very organic and it's harmful for them. So over time, mm, well, no, I'm thinking about myself. I'm full on aware of the impact of social media, and still it
Yeah.
doesn't really like lower my information intake, which is kind of scary.
Mm.
like I still scroll just as much through Instagram. It's
Mm.
just like the topics that are in my feed are a bit better than they were before.
Yeah. Yeah, who you follow definitely has an impact as well. Like I've seen videos where people have just unfollowed like all Instagram models, and I know all people they're not really friends with. I only follow like people that they actually care about, and like accounts that are to do with their particular passion. And I think
Oh,
that's
that's what
quite
I do.
cool.
I don't follow
Yeah,
that many people. Yeah, I like
yeah,
probably every month or every couple of months I go through my following feed, I guess, and just unfollow a bunch of people.
yeah. That's really good. I've been doing that as well. It
Yeah.
makes a difference.
No, but yeah, it's well, I've heard about the information is that your mind, your brain is kind of it's like running a marathon. You're consuming so much information that it exhausts it. So, well,
Questionable.
questionable. Maybe after this podcast, I'll just go black
Yeah, I
for
think
a
I've
month.
definitely. I think that's why, because when I go on my phone too long before I go to sleep, and then I turn the lights off and go off my phone, then my brain is like,
It
there's
keeps
just like white
scrolling.
flashes in my brain. Exactly, yeah, just scrolling.
Mm,
So yeah, and it definitely impacts like my sleep. If I go on my phone for too long before I sleep, I find it very hard to fall asleep. So it's crazy how much it impacts like organic
mm.
life without social media is a lot easier.
Yeah, so that's why meditation is also really important
Yes.
because social media is reinforcing that mindless thoughts. It's mindless thoughts and mindless scrolling. You're just following
Yeah.
your first.
Reinforcing the wild mind, the crazy mind,
Yeah.
the
And
untamed mind.
so you need to be like back, back.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah. And
like
I
that. Like
don't.
that. Well,
Yeah. I think also going off social media when you're feeling lost is good, actually,
yeah,
just
that's
to be with
gonna be
yourself.
helpful. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
turn
There's a
off the
lot of things.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, well, you already know all your answers. It's not that you're actually feeling lost. You're just distracted from the real answers.
Or your ego is trying to. That's what my mom said to me today. She was like, your ego is just distracting you. You've got everything you need inside of you. Just listen to it. And I was like, yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
Oh, that's wonderful advice.
Yeah.
No, my mom was
Yeah.
very angry. She was like, ah, it's so easy. Just don't eat sugar, don't eat bread, and like wake up early, do yoga. Like,
Go do
wow.
exercise.
Yeah, do yoga. Why are you whining? It's so easy. Like, yeah, continue to like, I'm so I'm so poor. I met Dharma at 11 years old. I'm so destitute. That's literally what she said.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. It's good advice though, actually. I sometimes I try not to eat very much sugar at all or very much bread, and it actually makes me feel more energized when I don't eat sugar.
No, I
So
mean for sure.
mm,
It's like there's
it's
this.
hard though. Sugar's so good.
It's
So
not good.
nice.
We're just addicted to it. We're really deeply addicted to it
Yeah.
because people in big corporations realized, oh damn, it sells well. Let's put it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Also, it's way cheaper to buy unhealthy foods than healthy foods.
well, that's why you should grow your own food a little bit.
Sustainability.
Yes. No, but it's so much tastier though. Like really, if you compare even some best, I don't know, candies and chocolates, honestly, they don't taste better than like fruits and vegetables and I don't know, some spring water or
Yeah,
something like
agreed.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. We've been growing herbs in our house. So we
Oh.
have like fresh basil, fresh parsley, and also growing tomatoes.
Mm.
And we've been buying loads of fresh apricots, peaches, and nectarines, and that's so
Oh,
nice. Literally, so nice.
nice. Juicy.
Juicy and summery and yummy. So
Mm.
yeah, definitely diet is good. Basically, there's just so many things you can do when you're feeling lost. You just have to kind of like, I don't know, if you're feeling really, really, wake up feeling really lost one day, just try and like incorporate a variety of different strategies to make you feel more centered and whole, and just listen to yourself. Essentially, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and breathe. Like
And breathe. Yeah.
actually just like put your attention on your breathing and your body. Don't be all just like buzzing here. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I came up
Yeah,
with a
because
song
otherwise
yesterday.
you're just listening to each thought, and it's just taking you further and further away from
Yeah, like
yourself.
your not all your thoughts are truthful or useful or even worth listening.
Most of them aren't truthful or useful. Most of them are just like
Like
unnecessary and just
random shit. Mm.
overthinking.
Oh, what
But
if
yeah.
I'm not even yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's okay. And all these moments of feeling lost pass. They always pass, even if it feels like, oh my God, I'm going to feel like this forever. What if I never get out of this hole? You always will.
Well,
Temporarily, even. I know
temporarily.
yeah, I know that we're all feeling lost a lot of the time.
No, I mean,
But
if your mind is untamed, if it's just running wild, then it's always going to be ups and downs. So the solution is kind of the best solution is meditation, basically. To look into
consistent
me,
meditation.
yeah, and then actually resting not in your conceptual mind, but in your awakened mind, which is beyond all that. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want permanent solution, enlightenment. No, really, when I go through difficult times, I always think about that. Like, well, even now I will come out of it. It will get better, then it will again get worse. In this
Mm,
life I'm human, then I'll be in some other realms. Then again human.
mm,
And I always think that, well, yeah, it's all like just doing chores in yesterday's dream. And I better do some
mm.
practice.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way of, that's also a good way of like motivating yourself, is to just think how quickly time goes, or like how impermanent everything is, and how this moment is so fleeting,
Yeah.
that I always think that like I could die right now. I should just go and do something to make the most of this life,
No, but
because you just never
surprisingly,
know.
yeah, that's true. But
Mm.
surprisingly, death, like the thoughts about death, they don't motivate me that much. I don't know why.
Interesting.
There's so much like always emphasis on like, okay,
Yeah.
what if you will die tomorrow? What if now you're going to bed and you will not wake up tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm gonna get reborn and continue. So what?
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm not really I'm not scared by the prospect of dying that much, but I'm more scared of like leaving behind
What?
all the people and things I'm attached to right now. That's what's been scary. All the people, all the people I'm attached to dying is more scary than myself dying sometimes.
Oh, we will see our whole family and our whole sangha die.
Yes.
Because we're the youngest.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Oh my
Yeah, I'm not
God.
joking.
Yeah, I know you weren't joking. I just kind of deeped it as you said it. Oh my God, that's so true. Even all our teachers as well.
Yeah, we will say Rinpoche die.
Ah,
I
but
don't
then
know
we all.
why. I guess I'm quite hard. I'm quite heartless. I'm like, Well, I mean, there's rebirth.
Yeah, there's rebirth. I just hope there's more people in our sangha by the time everyone's died. It's not even the. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me and you. And...
It's just all old people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need. That's why we need more younger people.
Yeah, I know we do. We actually do. We need to recruit some people. Maybe we should.
Well,
I don't know
podcast.
how.
Go
Yeah,
to,
do this podcast. Come
go
on, guys.
to ladranriet.com and see which retreats are coming up.
Yeah. But yes, I don't know what else to say. Do you think that's enough on this segment?
Let me think. What to do if you're feeling lost?
Feeling lost. I mean, I think that links quite well to the other thing we wanted to talk about, which is when you have so many different options ahead of you, but you don't know what to choose, because that can also prompt the feeling of feeling lost.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes.
So that's probably a good. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let's progress into that topic. So. Yes, if the possibilities are endless and you can reach your potential through any of them, then which one do you choose? And this is kind of the same as in yoga. There are so many different types of yoga. There's like pranayama, the yoga of breathing, yoga of movement, yoga of still movement. I don't know, like yoga of dancing, whatever. And it is said that through any of these types, if you practice them long enough and good enough, you can reach enlightenment through any of those. So which one do you choose? And well, actually, genuinely, well, I mean, I wrote that question and I don't exactly know the answer yet. So what do you think?
Okay. I mean, it's quite a big question for sure. But I would say, like, in general, like, personally, I have the ethos that whatever will be, will be. And when you have many different options, you kind of just have to, I don't know, I feel like you kind of just have to relax, because even like if you go down the wrong road to begin with, you might like, you'll realize like, oh, this isn't for me, and you try something else. And I think, but at the same time, that's not necessarily very good advice, because if you have like literally like so many different possibilities, which is actually similar to how I feel at the moment, just like what should I do after university, and there's so many different potential things, and it's like, how do I even choose? But I think it's again like about connecting to yourself, connecting to your intuition, and then following what in your heart of hearts you feel is right at that moment. And then even if that doesn't lead to like the ultimate thing that you're going to do, or the ultimate thing that you want, you can still change your mind. It's like, but I think life like essentially will lead you to where you need to go. You just need to make the first step, and then life will help you, rather than just like, do you see what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that very well.
You kind of like keep moving, not getting stagnant, you mean? And then
yeah, like if you get stagnant for too long, then you just won't move at all.
Yeah.
Very hard to answer that question though.
What I think is, well, yes, keep moving, but also don't rely only on your, again, conceptual mind.
Yeah.
So develop your intuition for sure, and by developing I mean just constantly asking it for advice and listening to what it's saying. In that way it kind of becomes stronger and stronger, because the thing with intuition, it kind of knows way more. Even, I mean, it's even in scientific studies that we notice so much more information, but we pick only what is relevant to us. while our subconscious or intuition, it sees everything. It's so weird. I even walk these days around town by intuition, basically. I'm like, should I go there or there? And I'm like, intuition is immediately, no, you're going there. And then I pass by, for example, the path that I
that's
didn't
really cool.
choose.
That's really cool.
No, yes, and I pass by that path that I avoided, and it's like blocked or closed, or like I wouldn't be able to walk through it. And I'm like, how the fuck did I know that? Yeah, it literally happened yesterday. I'm like, I should go around to the forest because not my usual road. And then I see that my usual road is like there's a pile of branches there, and you can't go through that pathway. And I'm like, what? Did I pick it up from someone else's consciousness that walked by that gate or something?
That's funny. Yeah, I think intuition is so powerful, and like you can get it. I get it a lot when I meet people for the first time. Like I can normally tell quite soon after I meet them whether like kind of like from the vibe they give off when I meet them, I can kind of tell like I don't know if I'm gonna get on with them, or also like how they're gonna turn out. Like there's a few people I've met at university and kind of like always had kind of like suspicions that they'll probably turn out to be, I don't know, like maybe not the best person, and usually I'm right. So that's quite good, because I think it's hard sometimes with making friends, like when you're in a new environment, to know like who to trust and who to not trust. And I think you can definitely listen to your intuition on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but there's some skill needed to.
Oh yeah, it's not like you can just listen to every thought. Like.
No, yeah, to understand if it's intuition or if it's like your prejudice or like
judgmentalness. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always there are two types of people when I get into the new environment. There are people that I immediately like, and I'm like, ooh, nice. Let's make friends with them. Another second group is like, oh, I've never seen you before, but I already dislike you. And the funniest thing is that those people who I immediately dislike, they usually become my closest friends.
Did you immediately dislike me?
I think so, actually. I was like, oh, she's so like arrogant and cold and like, oh, such a
I thought
girl.
you were arrogant and cold. I was like, she's so arrogant and cold, we're never going to be friends.
Well, see, it's just the same personality traits. It's like what you don't accept in yourself, but what you have.
Yeah.
Like in others. I mean.
You just project onto someone else.
Oh my god, but you thought exactly the same thing about me. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
No, I have another girl I met during the psychological trainings. I just looked at her. Oh, she's so spiritual and emotional. I don't like that. And now she's one of my closest friends, and she's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny how things like that work out. Yeah. I've had that with a few of my friends. At first, I thought they were like really bitchy or like really stuck up.
Yeah.
Now they're my besties.
No, and my closest, like, my ex-boyfriend with whom I was like together for 2 years. So funny. Our first interaction, it was in college, not in college, in my high school. And he was like, "Hi." I just looked at him like.
I can imagine you literally doing. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is he?
And it's so funny because I completely don't remember that. I'm like, it's just so
I bet
normal
he
for me,
remembers
I guess.
it.
Yeah, and he was like,
he's like, Jesus Christ, this girl's like.
Yeah. So don't discard people that you immediately hate. You probably there's some growth in it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, what other things with when you're faced with a million options? I mean, also like talk to people. I think it's important to, I don't know, I find like talking to my close friends or talking to my parents. I mean, not everyone has access to like people who will give them good advice, but I think it can definitely sometimes like help to clear your mind or like make you feel more at ease that other people are going through the same thing probably, or like have been through the same thing when they were younger. So that's also a good strategy.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a little bit of a dangerous advice. If you're trying to listen to yourself, then it's good to kind of take it with a grain of salt. Of like, okay, this is their perspective. Doesn't mean it's true, but
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
just widening my pool of ideas about that.
Yeah, not to,
Kind
and
of
also
difficult.
especially if it's like a parent, then they're kind of maybe they're more likely to kind of like
Be concerned about your safety or
tell
something
you
like
something
that.
that they would want for you, like rather than what's best for you. Yeah, exactly. Or like I don't know, if they were reliving their younger years, they might tell you like, oh, this is what. Do you see what I mean? So that's true. Like you should see any advice that you take from anyone else, like to add to, like to broaden
Yeah,
possibilities and to give you more insight, but not to like tell you what to do.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No, and then honestly, if there are too many options, just bring them from the future towards your present day. Just like, okay, what can I do today to realize that maybe dream that I'm considering or something like that? Because you don't have anything but today.
Yeah.
So, well, try it out and see how you like it. But it's kind of difficult to do. But it's exciting and insightful.
Mm, yeah. It is really hard though, because like for example at the moment I'm just kind of like, so do I go to Nepal to do a master's or do I stay in the UK and do history of art? But I'm just not really sure like where I'm going to find, like where I'm more likely to find my passion. There's also other things I could do apart from that, but those are kind of like the two main things at the moment. And then some of my friends are like, you should stay in England, you should just carry on at Oxford because you'll be more likely to get a good job. And then some people are like, you should go to Nepal, you'll immerse yourself in the culture, your language, Tibetan language will develop so much faster. And it's just like every time I'm so easily impressionable as well. So every time I speak to someone, I'm like, yeah, that's so true, that's so true. And then I'm like, no, I need to listen to my own perspective on this as well, not just like decide because someone else told me what's best for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
So yeah. And also, what I realized is that intuition is not in the heart, surprisingly. But here it's down in the uterus, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's true.
Because one day I was like, okay, what's intuition telling me? Because I always do that while making decisions. No, I remember somebody even asked me like yesterday give a completely different advice, and now how do you make decisions? I'm like, just from the feeling and whatever feels right. He was just baffled by it, and he's the guy that makes 3 plans for the day. Like, that schedule that you make, he makes 3 of them. So one is for if he feels lazy that day.
No, that's too much. That makes me feel anxious.
Yeah, and the other one is he's super productive.
No way.
So
Wow, that's intense. I respect that though. I really respect it.
that,
It just
yeah.
couldn't be me. Couldn't be
Yeah.
me. Yeah, that's so true actually. I was realizing recently, because also from reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, which I know that we both love that book. Highly recommend.
Yes, I highly recommend. It's a truly magical book. I walked
Truly
into
magical.
a bookstore once, and I'm like, okay, I want something truly, actually magical. And then my hand just landed on that book, and now my whole family reads it basically.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What about it?
Oh my god, it's so loud. So yeah, I don't know, it talks a lot about intuition and the importance of like female intuition, particularly, especially because we're so kind of, as a woman, as women, we're so used to this kind of like life, death, life cycle. Just by taking the menstrual cycle, for example, like I know that not everyone is kind of in touch with their bodies like that, but I feel really blessed because I'm always like, I always know like a week before my period or like the day when my period is coming, I know. And I just love that I can, I don't know, just hear my body and know what it's going through and know how it's feeling. I think that's a really beautiful thing. But also at the same time, I'm too aware of my body. So like I'll eat something which maybe like, I don't know, I'll feel like my digestion like too much and then get like kind of obsessed with that. If you see it, like, and then it creates anxiety. So like that's the other extreme.
Wait. What do you mean? You feel your digestion too much and then?
I'm just too hyper aware of like my bodily functions, and then it makes me kind of think, oh no, like I'm getting ill, or I'm gonna throw up, or I'm gonna. So that's too aware. I don't need to
No,
listen
there's
to it
no
that
such thing
much.
as too aware. It's like your body is just like you hear your body saying like, okay, I might throw up. What did you feed me? What? No, I
Yeah,
feel
I hear my body all the time, basically.
no, that's great.
Mm.
That's awesome. No, it's like some people feel like there's blessing in ignorance. There's literally no, just don't think that. The more awareness and knowledge, the happier and more pleasant your life becomes. It's like
Mm.
first, when you get into that, you just see all your problems clearly and all your shortcomings and all the suffering of life. You're like, oh my god, I don't want, just let me be in my dark cave again. I don't want to
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
But then over time, you learn to deal with it and to come to terms with it. And then because you can see clearly, you can see the way. You can see how to
Yeah.
navigate that complex map of the soul and map of reality.
Yeah. For
So
sure. And I think it's quite scary sometimes, like when you're able to see things much more clearly. It's almost like you're saying that you almost want to go back into that ignorance, because like today I was saying to my mum that I feel I've been doing calling lama from afar practice for like 45 minutes a day for like the last 4 days, just because I felt kind of like distant from
yeah, me
like
too.
this sort of like the guru and the like my devote. I just wasn't feeling like as devoted as usual, and I was like, I need to change this. And then like I don't know, I'm like much more aware of like what's going on in my head and how I'm feeling. And I was saying to my mom, I'm feeling like really claustrophobic in myself, but she is saying like this is like a good sign, because it means like because you've been doing more of this practice, like you're more aware of yourself, and that's always a good thing. You just have to kind of feel, I don't know, just at ease with that. That's just the reality
Yeah, for
of
sure.
being alive. um, so yeah.
No, it was so groundbreaking when I realized that spirituality is not about like pretending to be a saint. It's about just digging through your shit and then making
Yeah, just seeing it for what it is.
yeah, and then using it as fertilizer, hopefully. It's
Mm.
not that pretty and yes, we're so
We are
spiritual.
devoted.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, because you're just confronted with all these aspects of yourself that you didn't realize were there, or like you kind of resent or whatever. So
Well, yes, but is it easier to live with them though, without realizing? They're just controlling you from behind the curtains. And then you just like
mm,
pulled here and there.
mm,
So I think still it's kind of the life becomes way easier when
you're aware.
when you're aware and when you see yourself clearly.
That's true. Yes. um
Hmm.
I don't know what to say now.
Well, it's a moment to think about it.
Okay. I need to get rid of that chewing gum. I've had that for so long. Um That was actually, maybe that was causing some mental blockages. Just a horrible taste.
Yeah.
So do you have any more pieces of insight or advice on how to approach a situation in which you're faced with many different options and you don't know which one to choose?
No, just to conclude, develop your intuition, listen to your intuition, withdraw your senses, meditate, and just be in the present. Try things now. Don't
wait.
After I finish university, I'm gonna do that. Actually, I was exactly like that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start actually living after I finish university. And then boom, my 3 years long gap happened. So, and now it was such a difficult transition actually from like life is supposed to be after, boom, here it is. How are you gonna do things?
Yeah.
So even
Yeah,
the
that's so
podcast
true.
is kind of born out of that. I'm like, I want to spread the knowledge that I've gathered and my experience, because even though I'm young, I've been to a lot of places, done many things, talked
Yeah.
about many things, and I feel
Yeah.
like it can be useful at least to somebody.
Yeah, me too. I feel exactly the same. And I feel like it's kind of a unique upbringing. So it's interesting for people to hear on different perspectives. But yeah, for sure, I think it's very easy to just be like, yeah, I'll do all these things. That's actually, it talks about that a lot in Women Who Run with the Wolves, like kind of just putting things off, like always saying, oh, I'll do, especially I think once you're older and you've got a family and you've got kids and you've got all these other responsibilities. Like at our age, we kind of don't really have many excuses to not be doing the things we truly want to do because we have so much time right now.
You never have any excuses.
It's true though. My mum's always like, you really can't take this time for granted because once you're married or you have kids, you're working all the time. Like it's so much harder to just do things that you really, really want to do. And I know that I'll definitely regret it if I.
Well, no, but I still feel like you should structure your life so that even when you have family and work, like the work that you have is something that you love to do, and then the family is not, you're not completely spending yourself on them, and you're keeping your boundaries and
that's true.
enjoying your life.
I just think that's not, I mean, for example, like doing the work you want to do, that's not always possible. So it's hard, like it's easier said than done, basically. Now, obviously, that's the ideal situation.
Everything is easier said than done.
Yeah,
You just gotta do things.
You just gotta do it, bro.
Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, stop waiting, start creating. That's what one of my favorite YouTubers always says.
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
She's called Tatiana Ringsby.
Oh my God, I have no idea.
She's kind of like, I've been watching her for like 5 years, and she's basically a model. Like she's super pretty, and like she's half Brazilian, and she lives in Hawaii, and it's like, oh my God, she's such a perfect life. But she's really switched on. Like she's super into meditation and kind of basically all the things we've been talking about. And I really like how she kind of applies these principles to her life. And she is an influencer, but she's always like doing brand deals with brands that actually have a good message, and she's really into like sustainable fashion and the environment. And I think it's cool to have influencers who are supporting the right things and spreading the right message. So yeah, that's why I like it.
That's wonderful. But yes, I think we should conclude it around here. We've talked about many wonderful things. Yeah, what to do when you're feeling lost, and what to do if you have too many options. How do you choose?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. Thank you for this conversation.
Yes, thank you as well.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, all you people who are hopefully listening.
Yes.
And we'll be sure to make another podcast with more interesting insights soon.
Yes. And more questions to think about, and probably some guests coming soon. I have a ton of really interesting friends.
Cool. Yeah, I have a few friends who said they wanted to be guests. So yes, exciting.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
So everybody, this has been your new favorite podcast. And we're signing off. Bye bye.
Bye bye.